This is another episode of Bacon After Dark.
Oh, man.
Yeah, welcome everyone.
Welcome to the deep dive, everybody. Today we are exploring what happens when the absolute, soul-crushing economic reality of the Munich real estate market just completely breaks the rules of supernatural horror.
It really does. It shatters them.
Right. We have this hilarious genre-bending story from our sources today about a 36-year-old hyper-practical guy named Kaz.
Hmm.
And, we're going to see how overwhelming modern exhaustion can just completely neutralize the scariest things that go bump in the night.
Yeah, it is a phenomenal case study in survival psychology.
Totally.
And for you listening right now, the reason this matters, the reason we are diving so deeply into this is because it offers a literal masterclass in reframing bad situations.
Yeah, we could all use that.
Exactly. Like if you have ever dealt with a nightmare roommate or felt trapped in an overpriced, tiny apartment, Kaz's extreme pragmatism isn't just funny. It's a completely different way to process stress.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with the move-in. Right, the setup.
So the scene is set. It's the dead of summer in Munich. Kaz is just a sweaty, miserable mess.
Sounds awful already.
Haha, it is. He has been hauling these heavy cardboard boxes up multiple flights of stairs for like 3 hours straight.
Oh, wow.
But he has finally secured a tiny apartment for a cold rent of $700.
Which is wild.
Right. Which, if you know anything about the bidding wars and the absolute chaos of finding an apartment in that city, is suspiciously cheap.
It is. It's the kind of cheap that usually implies, a major catch.
Definitely.
And cold rent in Germany specifically means that is just the base price for the four walls. Heating, electricity, water, those are all entirely separate, notoriously high bills.
So true.
So his financial anxiety is already dialed up to a 10. He collapses onto this surprisingly clean sofa. His back is aching, and he just wants to survey his new space.
So he stands up, goes to switch on the overhead light, and nothing happens. Yeah, he flips the switch again. And suddenly the bulb just starts aggressively strobing.
Yeah.
Like a frantic horror movie disco ball.
The classic haunting intro.
In a traditional narrative, yeah, this is the trigger. The ominous music swells, the protagonist gasps, the dread sets in. But Kaz...
He doesn't care.
Kaz doesn't scream at all. He just glares at the ceiling and yells, "What the fuck do you think the electric bill in Germany is? Chop!" He literally yells, "I didn't pay $700 just to have a free neurological exam the first day I enter a room. Switch it off. Or, I swear I am calling the landlord."
What's fascinating here is the mechanics of cognitive load.
Okay, break that down for us.
So Kaz's brain is essentially a computer running a massive system-draining application called Moving Day.
Right, yeah.
When the entity in the apartment tries to launch the terror application by stroking the lights, Kaz's brain just hits it with a spinning loading wheel.
Error 404.
Exactly. There is literally no RAM left to process primal fear.
Wait, let me push back on that for a second. Are you saying he's actually incapable of being scared in that moment? Or is he just so annoyed that anger takes the wheel before fear even has a chance to boot up, like trying to scare someone who just finished a triple shift?
I mean, it's a biological override.
Really?
Yeah, fear requires energy. It requires your amygdala to flood your system with adrenaline for a fight or flight response. Kaz has been carrying boxes for 3 hours. His system is entirely depleted.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Right. The entity is trying to establish dominance using a classic haunting technique, disorienting the victim.
Right.
But Kaz strips the ghost of its power by turning a haunting into an HOA violation. He reframes a paranormal threat as a utility expense.
And the crazy thing is, it works.
It totally works.
The ghost actually stops the flickering instantly, and Kaz just completely ignores the fact that he successfully scolded an empty room.
He doesn't even double-check the corners.
No, he doesn't investigate at all. He just lights a candle instead, muttering that electric is expensive.
Wow. It just short-circuits the haunting entirely. The ghost is trying to tap into an evolutionary fear of the dark. Kaz is operating on a much more immediate, tangible terror. Modern inflation.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
So, because Kaz essentially stripped the ghost of its primary weapon, fear, the entity is forced to pivot.
It has to trust something else.
Exactly. It has to escalate to get his attention, which leads us to the first actual communication.
Okay, set the scene.
Right. So Kaz needs to wash off the sweat of the move. He takes a long, hot shower.
Naturally.
He steps out, wraps a towel around his waist,
Yeah.
and the bathroom is thick with steam. And he looks at the mirror.
Oh, the quintessential foggy mirror trope.
The ultimate horror setup. But here, written in the condensation traced by what the story actually describes as a large pudding
A
finger.
pudding finger, huff.
Are the words hello in Lissy, all lowercase, excessive use of dots.
A textbook spectral introduction.
You would think.
Yeah.
But Kaz just squints at the glass. He doesn't drop his towel.
He doesn't run.
Nope. He wipes a dot of condensation off his nose and just tears into her grammar.
Oh my gosh.
He says, Lissy, what kind of a greeting is hello with 3 dots? We are not in a sad teen novel.
He critiques a ghost's writing style.
He points out the unprofessional handwriting and announces that if she's a former tenant leaving a prank, he is deeply unimpressed.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is where we see the psychology of normalization.
How so?
Well, usually a mysterious message written in a foggy mirror is the catalyst for the protagonist to realize they are in mortal danger.
Oh, sure.
It's the moment the illusion of safety shatters.
Right, that's when you pack a bag and run screaming down the Munich streets in your towel.
Exactly, you flee. But by critiquing her grammar, Kaz is subconsciously asserting dominance over the environment.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he wipes the mirror clean, and his only takeaway is that the glass is now smeared. He complains, "Great, thanks, Lissy, very helpful."
So annoyed.
Right. He takes a potentially life-threatening paranormal event and reduces it to a minor domestic chore.
But let me ask you, and I want you listening to think about this too. If you stepped out of a shower and saw ghostwriting appear on your mirror,
Yeah.
could you honestly channel your inner school teacher and critique the formatting?
No.
I mean, I am out the door. I don't care about my security deposit. I am gone.
Haha. I think most people rely on the social script of horror movies when terrified. We're conditioned to panic.
Definitely.
But that is the genius of this situation. Kaz forces the supernatural to play by the rules of adult roommate etiquette.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when a ghost is treated like an annoying roommate who doesn't clean up after themselves, the entire power dynamic collapses.
That is so true. And since the mirror trick just made Kaz mad about having to clean the glass, Lissy realizes that intimidation is getting her nowhere.
She needs a new strategy.
Right. She needs to offer value. Which brings us to the moment the entire relationship changes.
I love this part.
So Kaz goes back out to the living room. He is starving, completely burnt out, contemplating eating raw pasta because he's too tired to boil water.
We've all been there.
Yeah. He complains out loud that he has no time to study. He carelessly leaves a broom and a dustpan leaning against his sofa and walks into the kitchen.
And this is where the entity recognizes a vulnerability it can actually exploit. Not fear, but exhaustion.
Kaz walks back into the living room, and his jaw drops. The broom is floating 10 inches off the ground,
Wow.
and it is sweeping. But it's not just moving dirt. It is sweeping with what he calls German efficiency,
Oh, getting into the baseboard.
getting right into the corners. When it finds a large piece of lint, the broom actually taps the dustpan twice to mimic the sound of a vacuum suction.
That is amazing. It's an incredibly calculated move by the poltergeist.
I mean, Kaz just stares at it with profound respect. He grins and says, "A haunted automated machine. Look at that corner precision."
Haha, corner precision.
He literally names the broom Gustav. He treats this telekinetic event like he just found an off-brand Roomba that came free with the apartment.
This raises an important question, though, about Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh, right, the pyramid.
Exactly. At the very base of the human psychological pyramid are physiological needs: food, water, rest.
Right.
Safety, which includes, not being haunted by a ghost, is on the second tier. When that foundational tier is completely depleted, tier 2 doesn't even register.
So you're saying because he's hungry and tired, his brain is just like, hey, free maid service, I'll take it.
Precisely. And Lissy leans into this. While Kaz falls asleep on the couch, he casually hears cabinets opening and closing.
Spooky.
Very. He sees a knife literally flying across the kitchen. The stove lights itself, creaking footsteps on the wooden floor.
Just a normal Tuesday.
This is a full-on poltergeist activity nightmare, but Kaz sleeps right through it.
Unbelievable.
When he wakes up, the apartment is dead quiet. And waiting for him in the kitchen is a steamy, hot plate of fresh spätzle, a glass of red wine, a perfectly folded napkin, and a lit candle.
Wow. Okay, spätzle is no joke. That is a labor-intensive cheese noodle dish.
It really is.
You're scraping batter into boiling water. This ghost put in the work.
She did. And Kaz stands there looking at the food. A sudden, supernatural cold shiver goes through him.
And he loves the shiver.
Of course he does.
He realizes he doesn't have to pay for a fan. It's free air conditioning.
That is hilarious.
He sits down at the table, eats the ghost food, and explicitly lays out the new terms of their arrangement.
He negotiates.
He says, "Okay, Lissy, the grammar on the mirror was bad. Gustav, the broom is excellent. This is a bribe, and I am accepting it. You're hired."
By accepting the meal, he validates her efforts. The haunting has officially transitioned from a battle of wills into a mutually beneficial transaction.
But let's pause here. Would you eat ghost pasta?
Oh,
I mean, I am deeply torn. On one hand, it was prepared by a telekinetic entity using flying knives.
True.
On the other hand, perfectly folded napkin and free Spätzle in a terrible economy.
The risk-to-reward ratio strongly favors eating the pasta.
Fair enough. And because Kaz completely accepts this setup and still refuses to give her the fear reaction she originally wanted, Lissy decides it's finally time to drop the theatrics entirely.
Right, time to show herself.
Fast forward a few weeks, Gustav the broom is basically a cherished member of the home. Every Tuesday is Haunted Taco Night.
A brilliant domestic routine.
So good. Anyway, Kaz is sitting on his sofa reading a boring book, and he keeps feeling these sudden, freezing ghost drafts blowing past his ear.
Trying to annoy him.
Yeah, he gets annoyed. He tells the empty room, "No sudden ghost drafts during reading hours. If you want attention, just flick a light."
Notice how he's managing her like a toddler seeking attention.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Kaz looks up from his book, and standing near the TV is a young woman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's translucent, faded, with wild curly brown hair, and she's wearing the oldest, most comfortable-looking faded flannel shirt.
Manifesting a physical form requires immense spectral energy. She is laying all her cards on the table.
And Kaz, true to form, just blinks. He analyzes her visibility level.
He critiques her again.
Yes.
Yeah.
He says, "Wait, this is new. Last time I just saw your pudding finger mirror marks." And he immediately pivots to complaining about where she keeps leaving Gustav the broom because he almost tripped on the way to the bathroom.
Lissy's reaction here is deeply human, actually. She tells him she manifested because she was tired of just moving objects around.
Right.
She wanted to see if his face looked as annoyed as his voice sounded, and she admits, "You are not what I expected. Most people just scream and try to throw salt at me."
Huh. And the salt comment? Kaz gets instantly defensive about his groceries.
Oh, I bet.
He smooths his pants and says, "Why would I throw salt? Salt is expensive and my salt is good salt." He is that one friend we all have who refuses to waste premium ingredients, even to exorcise a demon.
It perfectly encapsulates his worldview. Premium sea salt has culinary value. Throwing it at a ghost is a complete waste of capital. Furthermore, he acknowledges her value to the household. He tells her she's the first roommate he's ever had who cleans and who cooks better than his own mother.
He literally tells a ghost, "As long as you don't turn off my heat in the winter to make a point, we are good."
She laughs.
This echoing wall vibrating laugh. Kaz just casually invites her to the kitchen for a haunted taco night, asking if spectral beings absorb the spice aroma.
They have effectively negotiated a peace treaty. You know, ghosts in most lore are bound to a location by unresolved trauma or a need to be acknowledged.
Okay.
By acknowledging her utility rather than her terror, Kaz resolves her spectral angst.
And Gustav the broom is just leaning in the corner watching them. It's so good.
Yeah.
So, with the boundaries firmly established, we jump forward a few months to the final scene. It's an evening in the living room, and the vibe is immaculate.
The complete domestication of a haunting.
Exactly. The lights are dimmed to a pleasant amber glow. Kaz is on the sofa watching a comedy show. There is a large bowl of popcorn floating in the air next to Kaz. Lissy's translucent hand reaches in, touches a kernel, and it vanishes with a POP sound.
That's amazing.
And Gustav the broom is sweeping in the background, now sporting a small spectral bow tie.
A bow tie. It is a stunning visual of harmony.
So what does this all mean? They're sitting there, and Kaz brings up the funniest callback in the story.
Oh, what is it?
He looks at the empty spot on the sofa and casually asks, "Do you remember that time you thought it would be funny to write, 'Get the fark out' on the mirror? But I couldn't read your handwriting and thought it was a laundry list."
He is entirely defanging a moment that was meant to be pure horror.
Yes. You hear this faint, echoing giggle from the sofa, and Lissy argues that it was totally readable. Kaz is just terrible at reading cursive.
Naturally.
And Kaz just smiles and says he appreciates that she only uses the bathroom steam to write recipes now.
If we synthesize this ending, what we're really looking at is radical acceptance.
Yeah, big time.
Kaz has a moment of profound realization. He sits back, a floating bowl of perfectly salted popcorn next to him. He acknowledges that, yes, Munich rent is absurd.
Very absurd.
And yes, his roommate is a poltergeist. But he lives in an impeccably clean apartment where his meals are cooked for him.
It is, without a doubt, the best lease he has ever signed.
By letting go of rigid expectations of what a living situation should look like, Kaz stumbled into a weird, perfect happiness.
He really did.
He didn't fight the haunting, he managed it through sheer pragmatism.
It is such a brilliant narrative. If there's a takeaway for you, the listener, in Kaz's story, it is that sometimes the things that go bump in the night just want to help you sweep the floor and make spetzel.
Honestly true.
It's a hilarious reminder to find humor in the unexpected, to maybe lower our blood pressure a little bit when things go wrong in our own homes.
Absolutely.
If Kaz can negotiate with a poltergeist over premium salt and ghost drafts, we can probably handle whatever minor inconveniences our day throws at us.
I agree completely. Though, looking at the pure economics of their arrangement, this raises one final, rather provocative thought to leave everyone with.
Oh, lay on us.
If Lissy has enough precise physical manipulation power to cook complex German cheese noodles from scratch and to fold napkins perfectly,
Yeah.
could Kaz technically set up a keyboard and have her work a remote data entry job to help split that €700 rent?
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
I mean, it is just something to think about the next time you hear a creak in your floorboards. Is it a ghost or is it untapped freelance potential?
That is brilliant. Put the poltergeist to work. I love it.
Oh.
Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on this very special, very spooky, yet surprisingly practical deep dive.
Keep an open mind and maybe leave out a broom, just in case.
Haha, absolutely. Take care, everybody. We will catch you on the next one.